How to build a honey bottle and honeycomb farm. So as you see, this bee farm will give you both honey bottles and honeycombs. These are the resources you will need for this farm. Okay guys, so to start off with, you need to place 9 blocks. This can be any type of block, just like this. Just place 9 blocks next to each other, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then place a block on top of here and on top of here. After you've done that, you can destroy the middle block right here and replace a chest right in front of the block you just destroyed. Then place a hopper going into the chest we just placed. So after you've done this, you can place a powered rail right next to this outer block and same on this side. Then just fill in the kind of rest of the empty spots here with normal rails also on top of the hopper. So now we need to power the rail. So to do that, we will just dig down into the ground right under the kind of powered rail block. And then place a redstone torch. You can also just fill in the ground afterwards. So now the power rails should be activated. So after you've done this, you can place 7 dirt blocks on top of all the railings. Now we need to head behind here and place 9 more blocks, kind of right behind the railings. So just place 9 blocks right here, place 9 blocks more going up. And once you've done this, you can place 4 blocks in the corner right here, same over here, 4 blocks. Then place 1 more block going up here, 1 more block going up here, and then just place in 5 blocks in the middle right here. Now these blocks will allow us to place our dispensers facing downwards, which is what we are going to do. So after you place these blocks, just go on the back of the farm and then place 5 dispensers looking downwards. When you've placed all these dispensers, you can then destroy the row of temporary blocks. And then what you need to do is place 5 blocks right here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of right behind the blocks that are under the dispensers. Then do this 2 more times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the dispensers you should have a 3-block platform kind of going out like this. Then what you need to do is place 5 blocks right here, kind of right behind the dispensers, if that makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place 1 more row of blocks on top of that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. So after you've done this, you need to place 5 redstone comparators, just like I'm doing them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They need to kind of be facing out from the little block wall that's right next to the dispensers. So just make sure you have this correctly. So then what you need to do is place a temporary block on top of here, place 1 more block on out, then destroy the temporary block, and then just place 4 more blocks right here. Then what you can do is place a row of blocks right above the redstone comparators, just like this. Then what you can do is place 5 redstone dusts on top of here, 5 more on top of here, then place 5 glass blocks right here. Also, the reason we're having glass blocks is because redstone can travel through the glass blocks. So after you've done this, just place 5 more redstone dusts on top of the glass blocks, then place 10 more redstone dusts on top of each of these blocks. Okay guys, now what you need to do is fill up the dispensers with either glass bottles or shares. We have 5 dispensers. You can build this bigger, by the way, and you can build a smaller. You can have more of them next to each other, but basically if you want to get honeycombs, you need to place in shares inside the dispensers, but if you want honey bottles, you will need to use glass bottles, of course. So what you will do is open one of the dispensers. Let's say you want honeycombs in 2 of them, place shares into 2 of them. You can just have 1 share, but yeah. And then in the dispensers you will need to place glass bottles for honey bottles. Now I also need you all to know that you need to fill up every single slot here with glass bottles. You don't need to use, 1 stack of bottles in each. You can just make even 10 if you want, but this is because whenever you have glass bottles in here, 1 random bottle will kind of be chosen to be taken out as, or to kind of, be filled up with honey, which means that if you haven't filled up this all the way, if you have an empty space right here, this empty space might be kind of dispensed into the honeycombs, and then nothing will happen and the farm might stop working until, it kind of fills up again. That might have sounded a little random or not really make sense, but just make sure that all the slots are filled up with glass bottles, and obviously the more glass bottles you have, the more honeycombs you will be able to get. Sorry, honey bottles. Okay guys, so after you've done this, you can place 2 glass blocks right here, and then a row of 3 glass blocks right in front of here. I also quickly want to say you don't need to have 3 glass right here. You can just have 2 and then have another block right here, or you can even just have, normal blocks to fill in here. So after you've done this, you need to place a temporary glass block right here, another glass block in front of there, then just fill in this almost all the way until it's kind of empty space at the end, because we need to be able to get into this farm. Okay guys, so next step is to head in here and place 7 flowers on all of these doors. If you don't know why we have flowers here, it's because we're going to fill in this room with bees, and obviously bees will need flowers to get honey, or kind of, yeah, whatever. So after you've done this, you need to place 5 beehives right under the dispensers on these blocks. Now I would recommend you get beehives in here which already has bees in them, because getting bees inside a small room like this can be a little annoying, which you might know if you have seen my Let's Play series. But I managed to get around 20-25 bees inside a small little room like this by simply having, bringing them in using leeches and flowers and luring them in. But still, I would recommend that you get beehives in here that already have bees in them. But simply what you need to do is just get some bees in there. I would recommend you have a minimum of 3 3 bees per beehive. Okay guys, after you've gotten some bees in here, you can just block this off. And yeah, now we have the bees. So I quickly want to explain how this works. And that is that the bees will, you know, kind of use the flowers to get, I can't remember what it's called, like pollen? I'm not sure what it is in English. And then they will head into the beehive and dispose of that pollen. As you see, some of the bees just go into the beehives. And when they head into the beehive, they will kind of drop off the pollen. And then the dispensers will, you know, kind of be activated. And then they will, you know, share out or use bottles on the honey things on the beehives, which then will, you know, dispense out the honey into these kind of blocks. And then the hopper minecart will pick it up under, which is the next step, and that is to place hopper minecart. So boom and boom guys, now we're done. So all you need to do now is just wait for the bees to drop off all the pollen, get back out, pick up more pollen, go back into the beehives, and then all you need to do is just wait for the honeycombs and honey bottles to appear. Yeah guys, that was the farm. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions about how this works, feel free to comment them and I'll answer them right away. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.